Well, I mean, one of the things that I don't think anyone who watches the show would believe is that it's really, really fucking boring. And that's not me being facetious or in any way. It's anyone that's on it would agree. You get to see 45 minutes, 40 minutes out of a day.
From multiple
and that's
people
the best bit.
as well.
Yeah, from multiple people's lives. So times that by 14.
Yeah.
So you're talking like, 350 hours of life.
So you've probably got like a good bit every 24 hours.
Well, it's more about
your highlight.
It's more about your experience,
so,
not about the end result that goes on TV. It's more about what you experience.
Well, yeah.
So, okay, you will like experience a good bit.
You've had like, whoa, that was a cracking moment. That cracking 30 seconds.
Right, now let's get back to the remaining like 23 hours,
You've
59 minutes, and 30 seconds of my day.
No entertainment.
But no, because you've got no phone.
Can't bring a book in.
Couldn't bring a book in. No, of course not. They were allowed the girl who was the born again Christian on my series was allowed to bring a Bible in, and I thought, well, I've got the selfish gene. Richard Dawkins. Any chance that I could bring this militant atheism? No, not allowed. So yeah, there's all the cameras around, and you are very conscious, like I say, of what's going on, but very quickly also adapt to the situation. A lot of the stuff's done behind one-way mirrors. So there's a mirror above the kitchen, there's a mirror in the girls' changing rooms, there's mirrors around, and behind that there's a lot of stuff that's going on as well with cameras and stuff. Obviously that's completely oblivious
Not
to.
aware of that.
And the little ones can just swivel around and you kind of don't know. You're always mic'd up. There'll be a sound guy that'll come in twice a day, morning and night, and change your batteries out. So
wow, you
you'll
don't
go
sleep
in
with a
there.
microphone on.
You have to have it next to your bed, but the second you get up, even if you want to go to the bathroom,
Straight on.
put it on, and they'll come over the tannoy. Chris, you haven't got your microphone on.
Oh wow.
Fuck. Okay, go back.
And is it like a?
It's like an elastic band thing that's then got that you clip the thing onto.
And then that comes down to
bum bag that you've got like pretty much at all times, which isn't waterproof.
So you want to get
And is worth like each one's worth like 250 quid. So you've got to be
waterproof bum bags. Gap in the market.
Yeah.
14 sales per year. So the fact that you've got to get 45 minutes of content out of a full day inevitably means that they need to push and hurry the storylines along a lot.
Got to sort of poke you with a stick a little bit.
Yes, they need to expedite. They need to expedite what's happening. Like they can't have a 14-day wooing period where someone finally plucks up the courage to ask to hold someone else's hand. Like, it needs to happen now.
So how do they encourage that? Well, you said when they take you aside, for example, is that eliciting your opinion, or is it like, oh, do you want to go?
Go on, That's really like you
Give it to her. Go on.
You're running out like, all right then, come on.
And then there's a fluffer. The fluffer comes in.
Oh god.
No, it's not. It's more about. I think everyone's conscious. Another thing to consider is everybody is conscious that they're there. A lot of the people are there to get time on TV. You haven't gone on TV to not be on TV. So what they term producing content is doing something which will make the edit, or doing something which will contribute to the edit, the final production of that particular episode. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Just imagining how often Yusuf would be on the edit. I mean, I feel like it would be constantly.
So I'd imagine, like, let's say people are having a chat, and then someone goes like, and then they'll have to be like, okay, chop that. Yusuf surprised, save it as a file, and then like slip it into other conversations. So because what they do in like X Factor, for example, where they splice audience reactions with things that they're not reacting to.
Can we do that on this?
Well, just chop in some.
I just want, like, whenever we say something to switch to go.
We need a bank of like 7 emotions, and we can just throw them in whenever.
Chris furious, Johnny indignant.
So that's a really good point about them noting stuff down. Actually, you sort of alluded to them transcribing things. You will have someone listening to your channel on the mic almost 24 hours a day. And I came out, it's really, really weird. So while I was in there, the majority of the conversations that you have to be about what's going on. And if you begin to talk about stuff from the outside world, common friends that you've got that aren't in the villa, they'll come over the tannoy and they'll tell you, Islanders, can you please stop talking about the outside world? Thank you.
Really? So you actually have more freedom in most prisons than...
Yeah.
Like you thought that's thought police. Like
But
that is
in every prison.
so Orwellian. Like anything you can.
It's you're right. It's when you say it like that, it sounds really terrible. But yeah,
So you can't. There's no entertainment. You have to just be with yourself and with the other people, and you can't talk about anything apart from
The
the
inane activities
the
of
ver-
the.
But I mean,
what
how
everyone
many-
else is doing without any entertainment, without any outside.
This is what I mean when I say
It's
that it's
very
boring. Like it sounds stupid to say that you're in this £10 million villa with half naked girls, but it's really boring. Like there's only so many times that you can talk about Omar and that chat that he had last night and how he proper mugged her off, bruv. Like, how many times can you say that? Because nothing else has happened. Because there's a reflection period. Do you understand? There's these peaks of activity that are then followed by an echo
Nothing.
chamber of it happening. And once that's been completed, you need to wait for the next thing to happen. But during that time, you can only talk about stuff that's going on in the villa.
Do people drink alcohol?
So I thought when I went on, I was expecting it to be like X on the Beach or Geordie Shore. I had a lot of experience of being around the guys from Geordie Shore running club nights in Newcastle. And I thought, brilliant. Days in the sun, nights getting pissed. This is going to be sweet. Got there and you are limited to 2 drinks.
Really?
1 beer, 1 wine, or any combination thereof.
It's weird because it's like they're trying to create this incubation chamber, but they're not putting any accelerants in there either. It's like.
I think, to be honest, the alcohol thing, although I wanted to stab someone at the time for the restrictions, looking back, I can see why they do it. Because if you look at the groove that Love Island's carved out for itself in programming, it isn't Geordie Shore, it's not X on the Beach. It's not as
stayed classy.
It's not as fluffy as something like Made in Chelsea or Towie, but it's not actually all that far off when you look at it. High production value, everyone in there. Yeah, there's arguments and stuff like that, but it's not because someone's out of control. You know what I
Well,
mean?
It's because of all the rules in the tannoy. Like no alcohol, no red foods, no cheese, no mismatching socks. Like
No,
it has
brown,
you'd
no
be-
brown food touching beige food.
You'd
like,
be fucked.
I'd be
Ruined.
terrible.
Ruined. So yeah, the one of the problems that you come across is that you're just bored. Like you've got nothing to talk about, and then like you say, you're restricted on how many times you can talk about the same situation. But one of the things that does happen, like when they've got their content for the day, there's a little bit less pressure, and because the live show on the year that we did it was on a Thursday night, I think it was either a Thursday or a Friday night. No, it was a Thursday night. What it meant was that there's no show on a Friday and a recap show on a Saturday. So you had Thursdays off completely. And that was liberation. You could do whatever you wanted. And
Are they still filming on Thursdays?
they're still filming, but what they say is, look guys, just don't do anything. Don't do anything exciting. The cameras are rolling, but we don't want to put it in. So just as long as you guys are happy to talk about back home and stuff like that. But 6 days a week of not being able to do that is actually quite trying.